Hey everybody, let me fix the lens on this. Hey everybody, welcome to a special edition of Exposed. It is an absolutely awesome day outside. Let's get right to the meat of this. A lot of people come here and watch these videos, and I appreciate that, and I want to thank everybody that assisted me with my election this year with hints and tips and suggestions and all of those things. And those things are allowed, okay? During an election, you're allowed to have help and assistance and all those other things. What I will tell you is that under certain laws in the state of Colorado, a special district cannot get involved within 30 days of an election, especially if it's to attack or malign or basically try to stop anybody from getting elected. What happened this year with the assistance of Joshua Killett, the president of the board, or the current president, was considered electioneering and may be considered express advocacy. I'm no expert. I have sent this information on to the expert because I'm not. Okay, so I wanted to let you know that this is going to be the downfall of Mr. Killett. And I want to make this real clear to everybody that's watching. I take elections pretty seriously, and I don't joke about them anymore because, well, you shouldn't, and nobody should. But when the president of a nonprofit organization, Title 32 quasi-municipal government, goes out of his way to electioneer and to attack someone's platform in hopes of having them lose, is no joke to me, as it should be to no other candidate. And I've seen it happen, and I've seen what other candidates do. I will now tell you, I plan on doing the same thing by taking corrective action. I do want to apologize to the new board members, okay, which is Lukens, Ringen, Vance, and Stinson, because you know, especially the military ones, when one person screws up, he screws it up for everybody else. Remember that? Remember those days? When someone screwed up, everybody had to pay the consequences. Unfortunately, Mr. Killett's actions come with consequences, okay, and corrective action. One of the processes I can take is a recall, and I take that real seriously too. I will now tell you that we have a problem with a clique in this district, and we don't need a clique. Now, I don't want anybody to be slighted, so I won't mention your name, but a lot of people find one certain new board member synonymous with the clique, and you know who you are. And I'm hoping you're not, because the eyes are going to be all over you during these meetings. Not that it's warranted or merited, but the fact is, it's an issue that was brought up to me more than enough times that I now take notice, and the fact that, well, when people's spouses make statements about me to the public and it gets back to me, I already knew it. I'm not mad about it, it's the way it is. You're allowed to say those things about me during a campaign, I'm cool with it. Okay, so notwithstanding, welcome the new board. You have all the support you need. You don't need lawyers for meetings. You don't need to have Josh Killett telling you what to do because, well, he's only one person on a 5-member board. And I will now tell you that the meeting that took place last January 23rd was not done legally. And I did speak to a lawyer about it. Based on the tape recording I had, you cannot go into executive session if 2 board members say no, because you need over 67% to do that. And that's a little bit more than the 66%, which would be 3 board members. So that's the problem, okay? Can't do anything about it, we can't go back and fix it. The issue over the Josh Killett situation is simply this. Mr. Killett did things during the election that's getting back to me now in wholesale fashion from a lot of people that he did things to try to get votes for the incumbents. I'm not going to tell you who said it. I'm not going to tell you the names of the people who contacted me. I'm just going to tell you that it happened. Mr. Killett, you now may have bigger problems than a recall. I'm letting you know that the people that are saying these things are way up here on the credibility scale, and well, yeah, you know where you are. So, I also know that Jan Pizzi's trying to influence and stop the recall. Don't bother, Jan. It's not going to work. You're part of the clique. So let me go over the remaining people that are on the clique and let the new board know that it's time to clean house and get rid of the clique. That's what's been causing the problem. Until you clean the slate, get rid of nepotism, and remove the clique, we're not going to really be able to move forward, okay? Because I don't believe in holding anything over anybody's head. I believe that you need to have a fresh start all the way around. So let's start with the beginning. We have the lawyers, Bendelow, Kirkbride. Well, you got their names. You have a communications person named Mr. Cole. You saw what he's done. You have Corey Gabardella. Well, do we really need to talk about that? Because she can't even get her numbers straight on the remodel that was done over here, when in reality it came out to almost $100,000, which meant it should have went out to bid, and it didn't. Okay? Then you have LePage, Peterson, and the last but not least, the special consultant Pitsy, who is still a special consultant. We need to clean the swamp. We need to fix this problem and clean up the mess. Okay? And now I'm asking this board to trust me when I tell you that the best thing you can do is to get rid of all the garbage and bring in some fresh faces, a new look, some people that will follow the law, follow the rules, and do their thing. And for the love of Mike, get rid of nepotism. We don't need it. We're just not that big. There are too many well-qualified people. Next thing, Mr. Killett, you made that all possible, and the single biggest thing you did wrong was interfere and try to alter an election by doing this newsletter a month before it was scheduled to come out. I'm not the expert, Mr. Arnold is, and even I'm not immune from a subpoena to go to a hearing. I plan on going and doing what I have to do. The point is this, folks, I don't like recalls, I've made it clear, but it's a necessary evil. You've all seen what Mr. Killett's done over the last 2 years. What has he done? Nothing. All he's caused disruption, stopped core requests, shut down transparency, hasn't told the truth about a lot of things. Then the four-way ranch deal that went down in the last couple of months. That's another reason that Mr. Killett shouldn't be here. Notwithstanding the little thing that he pulled in one of the meetings in negotiations with the Upper Black by bringing a tape recorder and pissing off every lawyer in the room. That's not all he did. Then there was the way he treated the staff. And I'm not talking about Peterson and LePage. I'm talking about Eugene Cozzolino, who's no longer here, and Mr. McGrady, who's no longer here. I've heard the horror stories from not only people in this district that work in that office, I've heard from people outside of Woodman Hills who are now thanking me, Josh, for doing a recall against you. They personally picked up the phone and said, "Thank you, Mr. Pace." It's about time someone stood up to Mr. Killett, and I'm going to do that. I'm paraphrasing their statements. I'm sorry I don't have the exact verbiage, but you know what I mean. I have now been told by people that staff members in this district are telling people not to talk to me. That ain't going to happen. Not going to work. It's not going to happen anymore, Mr. Killett. You don't have majority. The clique is going. I'm going to convince this board that we need fresh, new ideas, fresh, new faces, and a fresh, new start. And these new board members are that fresh, new start. The voters spoke. They want a fresh, new start. We need to support this new group. And you're not part of the new group. You're part of the clique. And I know you and Jan are like this, just like the Howell situation. Folks, I don't want to do a recall, but it's a necessary evil. We need to clean up this mess. We need to finish getting a new board in order. And everybody's saying, well, you're just trying to do this as an end run to get around and get on the board. No. Mr. Russell Ryder's a good man. Mr. Killett, you can save everybody the hassle by just resigning and let this board pick somebody else. I'll be the first one chanting Mr. Ryder's name. Okay? That's how I roll. I have things I need to do. This board's not my whole life. Cleaning up the messes and clearing out what we have, that is. But being on the board, that's not necessary. And you know why? We have excellent, strong, good candidates who oppose the things that the clique and the incumbents were doing. And the voters spoke. So why don't you just do us all a favor, Mr. Killett, before this gets really ugly, and the information I'm receiving from other people about what you did during the election, besides this newsletter, come back. Because if it's true what I heard, you got a bigger problem than a recall. So, I'm Mr. Pace. I want to thank you in advance for supporting the recall. I want to thank you in advance for your signature. I want to thank you in advance for putting up with the signs. I want to thank you in support of supporting me with those 377 signatures. Believe me, it is well. I don't even know the words. I'm sorry. I'm going to get confused. Don't want to do that. Thank you. Okay, but we got two more things to do. One of them right now involves a recall, and one of them involves cleaning up the rest of this mess, fixing it, and getting this new board off to a running start. and making sure they have the support from this community, because I'm darn sure they got mine. All right. I want to thank you for stopping by, Mr. Killett. I suggest you do the right thing, because one way or the other, the process is going to take place, and we are going to get a new board member, okay? And it was all because of what you did. And it's not fair that these new board members are going to have to deal with this because of what you did. What you did. So now we're going to find out what Mr. Lukens is made out of. And I didn't single you out intentionally, Mr. Lukens, but everybody here knows that you're good friends with the LePages and part of the clique. And that's okay. But I'm just not favorable to it. So let's see how you react when the call goes out to have Mr. Josh Killett step down from the board. All right? I appreciate everything, and I want to let you know that I support this new board. Off to a good start. If you got any questions, I know you probably won't ask me because, you know, that's okay. I don't mind. But if you need documents, I got them here. I got whatever you need. If you need the assistance, if you don't, you don't. But thanks for stopping by, folks. Let's return Woodman Hills to what it was supposed to be, and the reason you bought here in the first place. Not what they think it is, but what it was supposed to be. Have a great day, folks. Again, thanks for stopping by. And I want to thank and congratulate the people in Cherokee, Paintbrush Hills, and the other special districts, because basically 95% of the incumbents were ousted, okay? And that says something. So let's get this off to a rocking start, shall we? Let's get rid of the clique and give this district back to its people, okay? And have good, honest people running this district that follow the law. Thanks for stopping by. You have a great day, folks. Go and enjoy the sun. Go out and have a great day with your kids. Go have an ice cream or something, and go see a movie, or go spend some time with your special spouse. And that's just my advice. Life is short, so let's keep moving forward and finish cleaning up the mess. Thanks.